All right, everybody. So we've been building up this time of actually reading our article. We've talked already about how we think that the brain is impacted by the music that we listen to, or how we learn differently because of the music that we listen to. And so now we're actually going to read this article and read some of the research behind what music does to our brains. So if you all want to pull out your article and follow along, this is called Music and Learning, Does Music Make You Smarter? And it was written by Gabriela Musakia and Alexander Khalil from the University of the Pacific in San Francisco. What is music and why do people think it's important for learning? Musical sounds fill our lives, from the music you share online to the songs playing in shops and restaurants. We are rarely far from music. Playing music gives the brain a multisensory workout that can strengthen memory, help us pay attention, and perhaps even improve reading ability. In this article, we highlight how various brain functions, including hearing, sight, movement, and social awareness, are impacted by music training. You do not have to be a Mozart to get the brain benefit of playing music, because music is so accessible and is more than just songs. Whenever you communicate without words, the way you say something instead of what you say, you are engaging in musical behavior. In this article, we explore research on learning music to help us understand why music promotes brain development and how music can be an essential part of our lives in and out of the classroom. What is music and why do people think that it is important for learning? While people of every culture around the world make something that could be called music, not so many of them give it a name or think of it as separate from other activities like dance or storytelling. Because of this, we can only define music in a general way as a form of communication through sound. Unlike speech, however, music is not generally considered semantic. Remember, a few weeks ago we talked about what that word means. It means relating to meaning in language or logic, talking about words and the things that we say and the language that we use. Going back to the article, this means that music does not use words to explain things. Think how difficult it would be to say something relatively simple, like your left shoe is untied, using only melody and rhythm. At the same time, music can convey profound emotions that would be difficult to describe in words. In addition to music being an art form, any form of communication is partly musical and can be said to have musicality. Think of the different ways that you might say, huh. Each of those ways communicates something different. That is musicality. It is not a musical performance, but a musical aspect of communication. While not everyone is a master of the violin, everyone is a master of their own communication style. At first, some scientists thought that the brain could benefit just by listening to music. They showed that people's scores on IQ tests improved when they listened to classical music by Mozart. This led people to believe that listening to music makes you smarter, but this was an oversimplification and an overstatement of the results. Subsequent studies showed that listening to your music does not actually make you smarter, but raises your level of enjoyment and decreases your feelings of stress, which sometimes result in better focus and improved test scores. This means that while your music in your home or classroom would not automatically improve your performance, it could be useful to help you focus on a new task or in situations when increased attention and decreased stress are necessary. Further, just listening to music may have a different or perhaps smaller effect than actually playing music. This is much the same way that playing sports will improve your physical condition more than simply watching sports. Therefore, the power of music can be amplified by playing along. So we're going to pause for a second. And we're going to think about what we just read, especially this last section called Mind the Melody. And I want you all to start making connections. So it talked about how listening to music makes us less stressed. Are there any ways in which listening to music impacts you in your daily lives?
It makes me happy.
It does make us happy. It changes our emotions.
Like playing the music depending on how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Music changes based on our emotions too, so it goes both ways. So if we were to infer what we're going to be learning about in the rest of the article, the next section is titled Music for Brain Power. What do we think that we're going to be talking about?
How your brain can be stronger
Because of the music. Yeah. So I want you all to take the next 5 minutes and I want you to read the section Music for Brain Power and Making the Musical Connection. And I want you, we're going to come back and discuss it all together when